Aloha. We are so excited to have guest Linda Cobb here. Thank you so much for coming. I would love to start with our mission statement, and then I've got a really cool video for you guys. Dr. Jim Carey, would you read this for us?
Sure. Mission statement. To build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving.
The longer I'm with this company, the more I love it. One of the things I love is that we're not just about real estate. Hi, good to see you. We're about life, and you'll see that show up in so many different ways. I've been so inspired by this podcast. I cannot help but share with you guys. There was a new post this morning, and it's rocking my world. So I'm just going to share a little snippet of who was featured on our Millionaire Real Estate Agent podcast this morning. The guy was the Division I quarterback and played in college and ended up going to jail and transformed his life. And so I just want to play this clip for you as people are hopping on. Can you press play, RJ, at the beginning of that? Oh, Ray, it's your vacation day. What are you doing here?
Best-selling author. Damon West.
Author of The Change Agent.
Very, very impressed.
Damon, welcome to the show, brother.
Damon West.
Give it up, Damon West.
13 years ago, today, was sentenced to essentially life in prison. And it's one of the most remarkable stories you are ever going to hear.
I was playing football and I got injured, a career-ending injury in 1996 against Texas A&M. Got into hardcore drugs in 96, cocaine, ecstasy pills. I was training to be a stockbroker in Dallas when I was introduced to meth for the first time. When I broke into people's houses, my victims, I didn't just steal their property, man. I stole their sense of security. I believe that God sent angels down to me that were in the form of SWAT team in Dallas. And they're armed. They look like they're just in the massive body armor and everything. There's guns in my faces. They're screaming, "Don't move, don't move." They didn't arrest me that day. They rescued me that day, brother. 65 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. This Dallas SWAT team, those are my saviors, man. They plucked me out of a world that I wasn't going to get out of. There was this one guy that was so different in Dallas County, this old black man named Mr. Jackson. He said, imagine prison as a pot of boiling water. He said, anything we put to this pot of boiling water is going to be changed by the heat and the pressure inside that pot. If I put a carrot in the pot of boiling water we call prison, he said, what happens to the carrot? And I'm like, Mr. Jackson, the carrot's going to turn soft. The egg is going to turn hard, man, like a hard-boiled egg. This man told me that day, he said, if I put a coffee bean in that same pot of boiling water we call prison, he said, now you have to change the name of the water to coffee. Because he said the coffee bean, Ed. He said the coffee bean had the power to change the entire atmosphere inside that pot because the power was inside that coffee bean. And he said, just like the power's inside you. Instead of letting the life sentence define you, she said, you change yourself inside this prison. You change this prison actually around you. She said, yeah, the coffee bean. And on November 16, 2015, I walked out of a Texas prison.
This is exactly why I started this show, is what we just did right now.
One of the most powerful messages that anybody could hear, not just a football team, anybody.
I go around telling the coffee bean story, and it's caught on in college football programs all over the country, in corporations and schools.
And has become one of the great speakers on planet Earth, one of the great influencers on planet Earth. These things that you think disqualify you are actually the great qualifiers for you to help change other people's lives, including your own.
A best-selling author. Damon West.
There we go. So, to be frank with you guys, I started listening to the Millionaire Real Estate podcast basically so I could tell Colette that I did. And because it just started, there's now 9 episodes, and I'm like, okay, I'm the team leader. I should do this thing so I can talk about it. And it is changing my business. And I started this morning listening to his story. And that's the thing I love is the company is bringing in these thought leaders. And one of the things that this guy told him, he was getting advice on like how to go into prison. And he said, don't join a gang. You got to fight the fights and get up. And then you'll be allowed to, walk around by yourself. And he said, be the coffee bean. Go in there. Don't get soft. Don't get hard, but change the place. And I get chills talking about it. He ended up getting out of prison now, and he's walking around and speaking his story. And the other thing the guy told him is big, which I think we do already. It's begin in gratitude. So he was starting his days in the prison thankful. And so with gratitude for all of you, we like to start with our Y4C2Ts. It took me about a year to learn how to say that fast. It's our belief system. Do you have anyone in here or on Zoom land that you would like based around the Y4C2Ts to share gratitude for during the season? Yes, right.
I would like to share gratitude to our client. And I started real estate together, and I probably wouldn't be in real estate still if it wasn't for him. He's definitely like one of my partners. We hold each other accountable. We either text or Zoom every morning, along with Colin. The three of us kind of started together. And we hold each other accountable. We make sure that we check in with each other and what are your goals for today? And then the next day it's like, did you do what you said you were gonna do? So if it wasn't for Aaron, I'd probably not be here.
Wow. Aaron, Rye is thanking Aaron. They meet every day. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing, Rye. Anyone else?
And I went for Miranda. Same thing. She's an accountability partner with me. I want her not. She is always there to lend a hand, to step in, to volunteer. You don't even have to ask. She just says, would you like help? And her tenaciousness, her generosity of spirit, her fun makes my day.
Awesome. Yay, Miranda. And she brought us this beautiful tree to use in our office. It's the best I've seen, I think, anywhere. It's amazing. Anyone else? Any hands on 21 on Zoom land? Oh, Ruby, thank you.
You know, I have to say thank you to Ali. She's, I mean, not because I don't appreciate everybody, but when I go to my email, when I'm really rushing and not paying too much attention to real estate, I had it all just came in. She's, I can't explain it. Even when you say that she cannot help me directly, she will say, oh, Ruby, you know, do this.
Yay. Awesome. I know I can speak on behalf of the whole company. One of the reasons I'm here, I'm so thankful for Keone. He is a grounding force in our company. And we all have had experiences where he's saved us on the weekends, you know, in the middle of his weekend. And he has a smile on his face. I've learned so much in leadership and professionally from him. So thank you, Keone, for your help. Anyone else? All righty.
What was the podcast? Can you write it down?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have there's a slide on it. It's called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Okay, here's another one that I got. Okay, just another teaser. Anybody remember when Cody Gibson came to town in Kihei? I kind of thought he was a little cocky, and I'm like, dude kind of gives the vibe like somebody who just won the Super Bowl as a quarterback. And I was like, oh, okay, you're a superstar. You listen to that podcast. Liza's heard it. Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, so, to go there,
You can come up here. Like, yeah, that'd be great. It was a good mirror myself. I need to be careful how I prejudge people because you hear his story.
Yeah, so I didn't realize that was the same person until Sasha told me it was the same person. But I was listening to the podcast and Cody Gibson, he gives his story about how he lives in Alaska and his mom, they were so poor, his mom had to rent out his room in order to make ends meet. So he either could change school districts and go live with a family member far away, or he chose to sleep outside on a boat. And he did that. And then in turn, she was charging him rent to do that. And he was, I think, 12 years old at the time. So then he ends up getting a job at Kmart, lied about his age, and hustled, became a manager. And then he was turned on to real estate. But as a mom, I'm thinking, who does that? Who makes their child sleep outside on a boat to rent out their room? Anyway, but yeah, I when she told me it was the same guy, I was like blown away because I remember kind of thinking the same thing that Sasha did. And just hearing his story was very emotional, very emotional.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Liza. Hey, guess how many units Cody did this year? He has an expansion team, so KW specializes in expansion. For any of you, you can expand anywhere in the world, and in any state. 1,800 units on his team. So, it was an incredible story. And there's another one I'm going to tell you about later, but I actually listened to it and got a listing appointment the same day because of what I heard on the podcast. So super excited to share that with you guys. I've been jonesing to tell that story for a long time. Okay, app training. Ray, you're on vacation, so.
I am. I couldn't miss the last huddle before the holiday.
Okay.
I want to loop everyone in. The new Hawaii One app is how we're outreaching about events and updates. So if you haven't downloaded it yet, or if you have and you want some training, we're doing that every Thursday right before Nerdy 30 from 5 to 5:30 via Zoom. So hop on that. And then I've got a couple more slides, RJ. I also have a live link to the training calendar. So one of the things we're hearing is that it's hard to remember when trainings are coming up. So scan that QR code and it'll subscribe to the calendar that we maintain as staff that will give you alerts about when events are coming up and links and flyers, etc. And we have a couple more slides. There we go. Nerdy 30, everyone by now knows about that. Don't sleep on that. It's basically a one-on-one with Carrie and I to help you develop your command and skills. And then we open it up for kind of a working session to answer your questions. So join us every Thursday, 5:30 to 6, right after that Hawaii One app training. And then there's one more, RJ. Perfect. Hey, I am on demand. So if you need time with me, if something pops up, this link will allow you to just pop right onto my schedule. A couple of things. I am in Kihei or via Zoom every day except Tuesday. And then for the West Siders, I'm also on Tuesday on the West Side every Tuesday. So use that link. Don't just sit there and have issues. Just loop me in. I'm here to help. Okay.
Awesome. And what we know to be true is Ray and Carrie spent time with one of our agents, and the agents got a deal because of what they learned from him at this time. And very generous to put that after hours for anyone who is, a lot of us are working full time. Yeah, Teresa.
I want to add Nerdy 30 is awesome and it's evening, so there's really no excuse not to go. But here's the deal. When we're setting up times like this for our agents, Zoomland can hear too. This is extra time that we're putting in to help you with your business. If nobody's showing up, then there's really not a lot of reason to keep continuing it, and you're going to miss out on something really great. And I don't know about you, but I learn something new every time, every day. So make it in your schedule, make it a priority to reach out to Ray, to join Nerdy 30, to show up at some of these techniques that are really going to benefit you as an agent.
And I have a fun fact. Pull up your command right now. This is new today. So if you click command, and you go into your profile. So you click your picture and then you go to your profile. There's something new that surrounds those of you that are in the 201 plus club. There's a logo and we're supporting everyone. Oh yeah. So go into command, like the Hawaii One app, command. Not Hawaii One, it's like command app too. We'll get Karen. Thank you. So, the reason behind this is, back to Zoomland. We know that you're going to do better in real estate if you have 201 plus in your database. So, pretty cool. Alrighty. Yes, Dawn, we need a class on expansion teams. Our company does reward you with extremely reduced caps in other states when you expand, and that's what Cody has been leveraging. So anybody that's interested, I love the idea of a class. We could go into that in more detail. Just make it super simple when you're traveling. Share the KW message that people can. It can be a win-win in partnering with our company. Okay, here's the Millionaire Real Estate Agent video that I wanted to share.
Jason Abrams here. Everyone knows that I love to talk. It's a gift, but I also love to listen.
The word millionaire is a placeholder for maximum.
We're having conversations with the best and the busiest.
Balance your time in a fierce way.
The biggest personalities making the biggest impact.
If an elephant's going to appear in the room, put the elephant in the room yourself, and now the elephant is no longer a problem.
The craziest and the coolest.
I got on my horse and sold American greeting cards door to door.
On a horse?
Yeah, on a horse.
It's about passion, strategy, and above all, it's about real, tangible success. How many homes is your team going to sell this year?
My expansion team will sell about 1,700, 1,800.
Buckle up. This is the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Podcast, coming October 23rd on Apple, Google, Spotify, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
So if you guys scan this QR code, it will register you. And if you need any help, it took me a while to find it. So this is kind of an easy way to get in. One more story. I'm interested. Any other questions? Cody's been reminding me I need to ask if there's any questions before I move on. Anybody have any questions about that? Yeah.
The link that he shared, that Ray shared about the classes,
Yes,
is that also in the Hawaii One app?
it should be. Ray, if you could confirm, I think all of our classes will be in the Hawaii One app. What it does is it links your Google Calendar, the classes of the training calendar to your Google Calendar.
Got it.
So it's automatically going to show up because we had people saying, where's the link to the Zoom? And so this will just input it in.
Got it.
Okay. Anything
The
else?
calendar on the Hawaii One app is fed from that same calendar. So, yep.
Oh, yeah. So he said the calendar in the Hawaii One app is fed from the same calendar.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, so what's your favorite question when you go on a listing appointment?
What?
What's your favorite question? In the chat, Dawn, specialist, what's your favorite question when you go to a listing appointment? Or why selling? Oh, that's good. Why are you selling? Anybody else?
The price you want to sell it.
What price?
When do you want to have it sold by?
Ooh, timing, urgency. Yeah, when do you want to have it sold by is what Teresa said.
How many properties have you sold?
Ooh, how many properties have you sold, right?
How important to you is it that it sells?
How important is it to you that it sells?
Is there,
When can I list with you? Yes.
is there anything special that I should know about, good or bad?
Is there anything special I should know? I'm repeating for Zoomland. No, good or bad?
What are your favorite features about the property?
Ooh. What are your favorite features? Special favorite features? Okay, so here's another plug. Again, I went into this a little bit, the podcast kicking and screaming a little bit. It's not my thing. I love books, but it's been awesome. And I listened to the number one, Phil Jones. He wrote the book, Exactly What to Say.
Yes.
And so you start listening to him, and his listing questions are profound. He says, once you think you know, you ask 3 more questions. And so one of the questions he had, in addition to all of your great ideas, he said, tell me the story about your house, what brought you here. So then same day, I'm in office and I get a phone call, no caller ID. And for me, that's been FBI or like a superintendent that I used to work with who's super private. So I'm like gonna answer, right? And this gal gets on and she says, Sasha, are you still in real estate? Because you haven't sold anything in a long time. Because once I took this position, I do all referral. And I said, oh, I've got this whole team. I've been promoted to this position and I partner with people. Why? She goes, well, I met you at your listing and I'm thinking about selling. And literally like 2.5 years ago, one of my first listings on Maui, she had come in as a buyer. And I said, well, how did you how did you remember? Or no, she goes, I wouldn't work with anyone but you. And I'm thinking, I got to meet this woman right now. I said, I've got stuff till 3. Can I meet you? You know, speed to lead. And because I refer stuff, this one agent showed up in the office and he said, you know, I show up for work, like I'm showing up for a listing appointment. So I said, hey man, can you come with me at 3 o'clock? We need to go up there and meet this gal. I don't remember who she is exactly. I just want to get in front of her. And because I listened to the podcast that morning, I said, tell me the story about your home. And it just went. And so I hope for all of you that the podcast can help. Just it's feeding your mind different ideas. And I'd love to hear your stories. Does anyone else have a story yet? Okay, next time. Any questions? Oh, Miranda's looking sideways. Yeah.
I was just agreeing with you.
Okay. So listen and tell me what you think, especially after the Cody Gibson and Phil Jones ones. Alrighty, I am so thankful for our board of directors. I actually use this photo when I'm talking to people about what makes our company special. We have an amazing group of leaders that are leading different communities. Some of their communities they're changing the focus right now, but this is an opportunity for anyone on the board. If you would like to give an update or plug something coming up, a volunteer event. And you can go to the next slide, RJ. I know, Liza, you have something coming up. Do you want to wait for your slide?
I'll wait for my slide.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, we're not there yet. Jumpstart. For everyone who wants to up your game, this is not only for new agents, but anyone who did not get to complete. It was previously called Ignite. We're changing the name for Sensitivity. Starts January 22nd. And we respect those of you that work full-time. Many of us do. And so there's a Zoom option where you can meet and watch the different video library and then meet with a coach on Zoom on Saturday for an hour to talk about it. So we hope you can join us. Please register. Any additions to that, Teresa?
Yeah, you can look at the calendar and it'll show you what's happening that day. So if you're wanting to work on your buyer's presentation or maybe your buyer's rep agreement and how you position that with clients, you can show up for just a single day, you can show up for a week, you can show up anywhere you want to. But on Saturdays, you need to register, or there won't be a coach.
Yeah, they've been generous, our coaches, to give an hour on their weekend as an option for people who work. So, but if you don't register or not there on time, then they're just gonna go on with their day. All right, we're super excited about this. Been working really hard. It's CE year coming up. If you would like to join me, the time has actually been changed to 1. If you could note that, RJ. Realtor safety, it was a blast last time. And it's only $30, gives you 3 elective CE credits. Would love to have the room full of KW family. We had a blast last time. All right, Steve, are you on? Would you like to speak at all to the marathon? We're still gathering names of people who want to volunteer. We had a blast last couple of years. I saw him on, but yeah, I think we get up at like, I don't know, 4 or 5, show up early. And then we're the only real estate company that is volunteering or has in the past. And they have reusable cups now, so we don't have to fill the cups. And we cheer them on. It's been great. It's a nice lead gen opportunity, the lead generation opportunity the days and weeks prior, because you're going to see runners and you can say, hey, are you doing the marathon? I'm going to be at station 13. We'll look for you there and try to exchange contact. Anyone else want to join the fun in the chat?
Steve's here.
Oh, Steve. Hey, there you are. Oh, I can't hear you. Uh-oh. Steve saying, join the fun. Oh, let us know when you get back on, bud. All right, Liza, here you go.
Okay, is that better?
There you
Can you hear
go.
me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I just took out the earpiece. Sorry about that. No, it's a great time. I mean, we get up early, but we have so much fun. I mean, it's pretty simple task. You're just giving waters out, but you feel kind of good about just getting up and volunteering and being with your buddies. I mean, it's really cool too if you're a new agent to just ask a bunch of questions while you have everybody locked down right next to you. So I remember the first year I was just setting Michelle up with question after question while I had it right there. But if you do want to participate, just email me ASAP and give me your shirt size. Our friend Michelle Rommel will be heading that up, and I'll be sending that to her as well. So yeah, let me know. It's fun.
Yeah, we had a blast, and you get free t-shirts this year too, which is super fun.
I have the videos to prove it. We had a blast.
Yeah, yeah. It was a good time. After you go once, you don't want to miss it because it's just, yeah, great morning. Inspiring. Okay, Liza, you're on.
Aloha, everyone. So as you know, I do a lot with the Maui Food Bank, and the last couple of months, well, after post the fires, it's been crazy. There's a huge need for food, but other items, toiletries, and just anything you can think of. So last month, we were able to give out Thanksgiving boxes and all kinds of toiletries, and we even had a surplus given to us from the Kailani Lenny Foundation, the surfer, which was lots of blankets, socks, and Fritos. So the kids were loving that. Cheetos and Doritos and all that good stuff. So we are having another food distribution on Thursday, December 21st. So we're looking for a few volunteers and more donations. So if you have anything that you want to share, please show up, or you can talk to me about it and I'll try and get what you have. But it's always very fulfilling, and it's always crazy and very emotional when you see the huge need for families and kids. Keone, Sasha, Colette, Angela, Teresa, so many of you have come and helped us. So we're looking forward to another distribution on Thursday, the 21st. So if you can show up at 1:45 at Hala Makana, and if you've worked with the Maui Food Bank before and filled out a volunteer form, you're good. But if not, let me know and I'll send you a form. Until about 3:30.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah, it's crazy, but very fulfilling.
Yeah, once you do it, it's another thing you don't want to miss. There was a 9-year-old that came up with a big card, like, how many in your family? Honey, 6. And so then we start filling her card up in front of family. And here she had been sent to get all the.
Yeah, we have lots of stories that would get you very emotional. And these are just families right in our neighborhood. So we want to think about them.
Yeah. And Liza's in charge of the whole thing. It's awesome to see her queen of the event. Okay. Any questions about that? All righty. Book club. Steve and Teresa, great choices. Would you like to speak to our book club opportunities? How many have read Psychology of Money? Yes? That's one of my favorites. It changes the way you think about money. And The Obstacles Way. Anybody a fan of the Stoic? Yeah. Ryan Holiday. Okay, Steve, you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah. So we've had success so far. We've had, 3 books. Jump in when you can. If you can't read every month, then that's totally fine. And if you don't finish the book completely, obviously we'd like you to, but if you can't, you can still make it. This is just to improve yourself. So if 2024 is your year to really just kind of grow and learn in your business, we rotate the books from whether it's money related to self-help to real estate. And if you do want to ever jump on the next one, let us know. You read Teresa's book in January, and then we meet up the first Monday of February right after the huddle. And then the next month you'll read that one, the Psychology of Money, and then we'll talk about March. So yeah, please join whenever you can.
Awesome. And if you have a favorite book that has impacted your life and you would like to encourage everyone to read it, Steve is collecting names and books for the year. We've got the first quarter figured out, but I look forward to continuing. We're lifelong learners, so there you go. Okay, so I don't actually didn't check to see if this clicker works.
If you're having trouble with mindset, The Obstacle is the Way is a phenomenal reset on your mindset. It helps you change where you look at the things that happen to you, whether you deem them to be negative or not, and transform them into the opportunities that they are to take you to that next level. It's a fantastic breed.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Happy birthday to December birthdays, Liza. I know you're in that group. We got Mamona special treats. I found for those of you on Zoom land, you're missing out on the Mamona brownie cake and all of that stuff. Good reason to come in. Please help yourself after. Happy birthday to everybody. We are Ohana and we celebrate with you, and welcome to our new agents. Blaine, Jessica, Serena. If you know anyone that you've done business with or think would be a great fit, please let me know. We're looking to grow our company. Bucket fills. We did this already, but here's another opportunity. Would anyone like to fill someone else's bucket? Zoomland 25. All right, been there, done that. Okay. Congratulations, our top 20 agents for November. Wow, look at that. Ruby's on there. Awesome. See some new faces. Congratulations, all of you. You're working hard through this market, being the top. That's great. And we have our captors, Dean and Marianne and Marcus. Yay for captain! So we met with the new coaches, and we were talking about doing a contracts class or purchase listing class, and what they said was, agreed is, we get 50 people in the huddle, we should talk about what's important in these meetings. So our fearless leader is here to talk about code of ethics, standard of practice, but we will be putting in a broker's corner for all you brokers out there to help advise us to improve our contract knowledge. So, Jody.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So don't forget, what time of the year is it?
Christmas.
No. It's time to remind your clients who are owner occupants to fill out their homeowner's exemption form, because they assume that you're not a homeowner, right? They have to apply for the homeowner's exemption, which is huge, right? To get lower taxes. So don't forget to do that. They will love you for it, and they will hate you if you don't do it. So let's talk about some MLS rules. All right. Everybody's excited about that. Okay. So everybody knows you're supposed to put the you report all sales, right, within 2 business days of the closing or whatever, right? However, if it's sold before listed, right, your properties are required to use actual contract date as both the list date and the contract date to avoid skewing market stats, right? So basically, and then you got to put a photo, right? The expiration and the closing dates are the dates sale was recorded, right? Basically, all 4 of those dates are going to be the same if you do a sold before list. Okay, and you put it on that date. Date it closes, or a day or 2 after, but that date, all those are the same. If you do a sale before list, which they're kind of becoming a little more popular, I've seen. A lot of properties are not on the market, right? So remember that if there's a seller that says, I do not want it in the MLS, right? You need the waiver, right? And it has to go to the MLS, right? Your listing contract and the waiver goes to MLS. If it's a sold before list, you don't have to do that. Okay, you just put those dates in all the same and record the sale. If you're late recording the sale, you're going to get a fine. Okay, so make sure you do that on time. Everybody clear?
Yes.
Everybody happy?
And the fine is pretty hefty.
The fine is quite hefty. So we are going to try to figure that one out. Anyway, happy Monday.
May I add something? Kaoni?
Yes, you.
Hi. I just wanted to add, I'm new on the MLS committee, so I'm, And we're learning that a lot of people are not sending in their waiver forms and their listing contract to Vincent. And that's really critical. So if you sign a waiver, you must send it to Vincent. So just that reminder, everybody, yeah, the committee is like, wants to get on it to make this happen.
Yeah, so they'll start spreading the word. So now you guys all know, so no excuses anymore.
And so you guys know too, our brokers are on it with all this talk about short-term rentals, and it's more updates coming soon. So Kenny and I talked about it this morning. We're gonna be sure to keep you updated and apprised of how that
Yeah,
goes.
we're kind of waiting for the legislation to get through so we can talk about what the legislation might be. The governor's thing is freaking everybody out with that whole, but I'm gonna do a moratorium on vacation rental, but he never says any details on it. So it sounds like a big scare tactic to me. But who knows? He might do something and then he's gonna get lawsuits from his own citizens and we're gonna sue ourselves. So anyway, it's a whole to do. Also, don't forget to have your client sign the CMA at the time of listing, right? At the time of the purchase contract. Because we're seeing a lot of them come in late and you might as well not even do one at that point, right? The whole purpose is that they've seen how the market is doing. That's how they listed their price, right? They put an offer in on a property, they've seen the CMA, that's how they got their price to put that in, right? That's the purpose of it. So make sure you do it on the time that you sign the listing. Okay, and the purchase contract. Okay, goodbye.
Hey, goody. Alrighty. Please remember TCPA compliance. You can go to do-not-call.gov, check out the number before you call. It's surprising how many realtors are actually on that list, so I'm having to be very careful with that myself too. Do we have any buyer needs or listings that you'd like to speak about? You have a big, Liza.
I just got a listing signed in Highland. It's an acre, 1.33 acres, and it's on the ocean side of Hunter Highway. It's on one of those dirt private roads, so very, very private, kind of off the grid living, no ocean views, but super tranquil, and the landscaping itself is very peaceful. We are just to get for 1.199, and it's the county shows it as being a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, but I want to clarify it's 3-bedroom, 2 bath. Let me know if you got any buyers.
Okay, Liza said 1.33 acres, 1.9999 million, 2-bed, 3-bath. And nope, 3-bed, 2-bath on the Oceanside Hana Highway. And yeah, that sounds awesome. Anyone else? Oh, yay, right. Do you want to come up here so the Zoom line can hear? Okay, I'll try to. Sorry. Zoom line may be your buyer.
Hey guys. Sorry, I'm not a good speaker. But anyways, I have a listing. Actually it's on Oahu called Lina Kai Golf Estates and Villas. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath townhome, 1,625 square feet. My sellers are offering a $5,000 commission bonus to a buyer that brings in a full price offer by Christmas. And if they finance with a certain lender, they can get a $25,000, the buyer can get a $25,000 seller's credit for a full price offer. So if you have any info or you know anybody who may be interested, please contact me.
We're on Oahu.
Kolina Kai Golf Estates. It's a townhome. It's a long-term rental, but you can, Oahu's long-term rental is 30 days, so can rent it out for 30 days, which they have done in the past.
Thank you. Thank you, bye. Ray put the homeowner tax exemption form in the chat. Anyone else? Buyer needs, listing contract signed, Zoomland? Well, we just wish you and all your families, we know sometimes the holiday season, it can be celebratory with family and it also can be hard. So know that you have family here. If you need somewhere to go, we have an extended Ohana. Reach out to me and I can connect you with someone. Happy holidays to everyone. Have a great week. And we'll see you the next Monday on the calendar that's not Christmas or New Year's. Okay. January. Okay. Ready to go.